UncleCoon in the house, dropping knowledge, staying true, no room for doubt. From the dates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't want to miss the call. Real, UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean? From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. Real, UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Cash App, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. Real, UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for your host. It's Big Al, UncleCoon.
Yo, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Welcome. I'm your host, Big Al, UncleCoon. I believe we are on YouTube and Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's having a great Sunday. Appreciate you dropping by. Let's see what we got going on today. Okay, let's see. Damon, can you... Okay, we got a sound check. We're good. All right, Isaiah is in the house. My buddy Isaiah said he'll be chilling, but he is going to definitely catch us today. And Isaiah, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And okay, all right, we rolling. We up in here. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate everyone that has actually ever tuned in at any given time and checked us out and clicked on the share button and shared a video, any video. We're up to what, over almost 750 videos? Can you believe it? Lord have mercy. And all of them are pretty much saying the same thing. Democrats suck. But man, we've been fading the heat on that. But boy, oh boy, tonight I just wanted to talk about. Let me get this out of the way. Doesn't it seem like there's a lot of Democrats going to jail? I mean, I'm just saying. I've been sounding the alarm, and I've been saying that these people are evil, that these are not the same people that we grew up with. And hey, I've been trying to tell you. And I have been fading some heat, been called all kind of names, and kind of every slur that you can imagine. But you know, that became a business opportunity because that's where the channel came from. People were calling me Uncle Tom, Uncle Coon, Mr. Coon, Uncle Tom, all that, sellout, what else, all that other stuff. And I just combined all that into Uncle Coon and then created a channel. And now we rolling. And thanks to the lead attorney and Anton Daniels and Mr. Vince Ellison and people like that, the lead attorney, I bought his course and learned how to do this thing and been studying a bunch of people ever since. As a matter of fact, I believe that it's tonight, especially and moving forward, that I'm just going to lean on the people that do it well. And I tell y'all all the time that there are so many content creators, people that seek the truth and can explain and show you different things that are going on. I remember we've been doing this for a little over a year, a little over a year. And when I first started, I was sending people videos, people that I cared about. That's why I was doing it, because I'm seeing some of their comments and what they were saying. And I said, well, they don't know what I know. I understand what they're saying, but you know, we passed all that. So let me send them a video, and they send it back, cuss me out, and do all that stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I was like, man, can't stop though. And so we just been kind of rolling. But anyway, I appreciate everybody that, you know, we're up to 6,000 subscribers. Man, can you imagine that? They told us it'd take a year to get 1,000. We did that in 6 months. And we just been rolling ever since. But that's not me, that's you. And I'm just committed to putting the work in and finding the videos and want to share the good news. That's what we're supposed to be doing. But there's still a lot of people that don't want to hear it for some reason. They have their ears. They don't listen. You know what they do? They listen to other people, and they are influenced by other people, but they don't rely on what they see. If I could sum it up, and I think that's what's really going on. Some people, a lot of us, you know, we see. You know, we use our eyes and then and we put that in there and then we do some thinking and say, well, that's not, you know, I don't understand how the media can tell people one thing when you can clearly see that it's something totally different. Y'all remember when Minnesota was burning down and it was peaceful protest? Remember how the media was doing that? It was peaceful protests and stuff was blowing up in the background and fires and all that stuff. And remember, just this year with the Teslas, who was burning up the cars and scratching up cars and doing all that stuff? It wasn't Republicans, and it wasn't Trump. I'm like, man, y'all putting everything on Trump. He hadn't done anything, just trying to clean this stuff up. And so we're dedicated to showing you what's really going on. To try to wake you up. Like Mr. Ellison says, our job is to wake you up. So I appreciate you hanging in there with us. If you're on here tonight, Facebook, and shout out to Leesville, shout out to Graham fam. Those are my roots. I don't know. Maybe one day, one day they'll let me back in. But right now, they have kicked me out. I can't go back to Leesville, and I am not Graham fam. So they've taken those cards, and then I'm not black either. So I guess I'm just MAGA, but I'll take that because all we do is win. You know what? Let me tell you something. Maybe this will help some people. And some people gonna get really mad. And if you get mad, I believe you are evil. But if you are a follower of Jesus Christ and you are saved, then don't you understand that that's where Donald Trump's strength is coming from? No man can be that good. All he does is win. And you remember the 34 counts, the trumped up charges? Have y'all researched that? The charge, the charge that they charged him with, look that up. No one in the history of America anywhere has ever been charged with that particular crime. They made it up, ladies and gentlemen. It's real easy to see, just like they made up January 6th. But hey, Orlando in the house, man. It's good to see you, bro. Appreciate you. And my son Mike is in the house. That's my twin right there. And Orlando said, if you're kicked out for the truth, you're in good company. They kicked Jesus out. That's true too. I remember I told a lady I made that comparison to Trump, and boy, she went off. I thought she was gonna have a stroke. Don't you never say nothing about no Jesus and Trump are the same. Who do you think sent Trump? Y'all, people forget. See, what I tell you about what you see, I saw 4 years of hell when Biden and Kamala and whoever the hell was running the country. It got progressively worse every year. It got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Everything got worse. It looked like everything they touched turned to doo-doo. Chaos all the time. Didn't nobody know what was up. They didn't even know. The president didn't even know. He didn't know what day it was. Didn't know if he was eating ice cream or eating corn. He didn't know nothing. Nobody knew nothing. It was crazy, chaotic. Who is the author of chaos? That would be Satan. But on the other side, look at the president. Everything's smooth. He can explain everything to you. He gets on the microphone every day with cameras in his face and look you right in the eye and tell you exactly what he's going to do. And then he gets it done and tell you it's done. And then he asks you what's next. I get texts from him every day. The 4 or 5 of them on the cabinet. They ask American people what what's going on, what you think about this? What do you think about drilling oil? And everybody say, yeah, man, we need to get that back. Okay, let's do it. And then the people on the other side, Orlando, they hollering, we in a cult. Yeah, ain't that something? We in a cult. But they do whatever the media tell them to do. The media told y'all to wear a mask. Y'all wore it. The media told you to take a shot. Y'all took it. The media told you shut up 6 feet and do all that. Y'all did all this stuff. I ain't do none of that. But I'm in a cult. President Trump, I can't name anything that President Trump said that he told me to do something. He asked me to vote for him. And he asked us what we wanted done if he got back in office. And then he ran on that. And that's what he said every day. And then what? The Democrats came up with all kind of stuff. Project 2025. We're going to talk about that tonight. What the hell? Project 2025. I think what they came out with that lie. Have y'all noticed that the Democrats, they just come out with one lie after another one, and then they come up with something else. It's about 2 weeks. It's about a little 2-week delaying that thing, the way they operate. They'll come up with something running for 2 weeks, and then they'll get on something else. I don't understand how people can listen to all that stuff and not see that they're being lied to. I mean, how many times can people get? How many times can they lie to you? Right? I don't understand that. Just one lie after another. The Russia hoax. He's a 34 felony. 34 counts. Okay, you did one thing and you get 34 counts. That don't count to you. And then the thing that they charge him with is not even a crime. They made up the charge and then put 34 times 34. You don't see that? Oh, I remember the Central Park 5. Yeah, he did. President Trump did that. Put an article in the paper and said that those people should get the death penalty. That was his opinion. It wasn't based on the fact that they were Black. He said whoever did it should get the death penalty. And then it turned out they framed 5 Black guys for it, but they confessed, and that was a big mess. Okay, so they made the thing about it, Orlando. I see people they try to look at the president as a person instead of looking at the job that he does as a president. They don't see it. But now Joe Biden, they don't see the person. They didn't see Sleepy Joe. We saw Sleepy Joe. They saw the president. And people saying he had a good economy and all that. I don't know where the hell you must have been asleep under a pile of rocks. And people are like, man, Trump said he's going to get the gas down. Yeah, he did. He will. Matter of fact, he already has. It's going to take time for that to happen. But I believe with everything that's in me, we're going to wake up one day and gas is going to be under $1. I believe it. With all the deals that he's done and all the drilling and Joe Biden stopped all the pipelines and all that. And so Trump has only been back in office 6-7 months, and all that stuff has to be ramped back up and built. And I believe within the next 6 months or so, you're going to see some, I think you're going to be, maybe by Christmas, but I believe definitely by next April, if it takes that long, because those things have to be built and then put online. Pipelines have to be, because Biden stopped all of that stuff. And so all that stuff got to be checked out. New pipes got to be put in, and there's a lot of stuff that has to be done. In the meantime, what is President Trump doing? Doge. They killing all the corruption. They stopping all the money, the money from going overseas. How many billions did they send over there to Ukraine, right? And to be honest with you, I know a lot of y'all don't know this, but Ukraine is actually a corruption center. That's where the corrupt people in the United States government, that's where they launder their money. It's all coming through Ukraine. And that's a big mess. And I believe that the Democrats are backing up Zelensky doing all that stuff. But a lot of people are dying over there. But President Trump said, we got to stop this. Humanitarian. But not one time, I'm still looking for the time. Where did President Trump say, out of all the things that he's done, I've never heard him say, and I watch him in some form of fashion, I see him every day because he always in front of the cameras at least an hour, 30 minutes to an hour every day. And I catch part of that. And then I look at other channels and we see him every day. He talks, he tells you what he got going on. And I have never heard him say, I'm going to do this for the white people. And the rest of y'all. Okay, black and brown, y'all go over there. And the white folk over here. I've never heard him say that. But the media says it all the time. The president didn't say that. He said he's going to get rid of income tax. When gas go down to 88 cents, is it still going to be $3 for black people? And the people, black people complaining and screaming and hollering. Some of these, the defiant lawyer, man, that guy, you talking about crazy. This guy's an attorney. I just called him out. The defiant lawyer. I listened to his page the other day. I'm like, man, what in the hell? What are you talking about, man? White supremacy is that President Trump is a white supremacist. And the white supremacist is the problem in the country today. What white supremacist, man? I'm 60-something years old. I ain't never seen no white supremacists. Where they at? What the hell? What are you talking about? That's the problem. You know, the people complaining about the president sending the troops into D.C. to clean up the mess. And 80% of the people, 45 children under the age of 19 have been shot, killed by gunfire in D.C. this year. 45 kids under 19 years old. What, 200-something murders already? And that's not a problem. The president said, no, we got to clean this up. How could you be mad at that? Unless you're evil. So wake up, Pastor. Some of y'all pastors you're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. I told you. You better watch your mouth. Keep running your mouth. One day your congregation gonna wake up and they're gonna realize you didn't know what you was talking about. And if you didn't know what you was talking about, you definitely wasn't listening to the Holy Spirit. And if you know that guy, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, you would know who Trump is. I'm telling you, it's good versus evil. Let me see what Mike said. Mike said Jesus was a warrior. He was never crucified, but he most definitely lived for us. Yep. And he lives in us. Only weak black men and women worry about supremacy of another race. That's very true. Strong black men and women do what needs to be done. That's my son, Mike, my twin. Y'all see that right there? Only weak black men and women worry about supremacy of another race. I've never even thought about that mess unless I hear it on the news. Who? Supremacy? What the hell is that? Somebody else? Supreme? Come on, man. Boy, good point, Mike. Very true. I don't even know how you get up in the morning and look in the mirror and you think somebody's superior to you. Black, white, green, or other. I don't get that at all. Oh, that's satanic. That's not Jesus. Jesus don't talk like that. Boy. You know what? That's why President Trump rolled like he does. He doesn't, because most men would break. There's no way in hell most men would break under the stuff that they have put that man through. And the thing that I don't understand how grown men, that especially men that's over 35 years old, how you don't see bullshit when you don't know a lie when you hear one. You don't know a series. A series of lies don't wake you up. Somebody can just lie to you over and over and over about anything, just make up stuff. I remember way back when Don Lemon was on CNN, and sometime I would go different people's houses and stuff and whatever. That's back in the day. Primerica and stuff like that. And I would go to people's houses, go visit relatives and stuff. And CNN would be on Don Lemon, and he would say stuff, and I just what? That's a lie. And shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I might not know what I'm talking about, but I know that he just said bullshit. That's a lie. That's not the truth. Can't be. And the media, the Russia hoax, China hoax, impeach. Don Jr. and Eric was on Fox last week, and they said that Chase Bank, I think it was Chase Bank, they had 120 some business accounts with that one bank, and that bank canceled everything in one night. They woke up the next one morning, they didn't have any business accounts. Everything was frozen. And you know what the government was doing. They was making Donald Trump pay all kind of fines and stuff, and making him come to court. They charged him with some crazy stuff up in New York and made him sit in court every day for 30 days. Wouldn't let him talk to the media about it. It was crazy. And then, weak men, Mike, weak men can't see. They just run off at the mouth based on what they heard. Ain't that something? People just run off of what they heard. But look, we got some stuff. I got some stuff lined up tonight. And shout out to Isaiah. Isaiah said Isaiah called me yesterday and said, Big Al, it's time to get busy. We got midterms coming up, and I hadn't even thought about that. I'm not a politician, but he said we got work to do, and we got to make sure that these Democrats that they don't get anything. Did you see that foolishness they did in Texas? Wasn't that crazy? But it's just about everybody think alike, right? They do stuff. They don't ever think about the end game. How is this going to come out? They just do stuff, like burning up Teslas and doing all kind of. Okay, sooner or later they're gonna catch you. And what's the end game? You're gonna wind up in prison. All this other stuff they doing. A lot of Democrats going to jail. You notice that? Who the crooks? Who the evil people? How many charges did they put on Donald Trump? How many of them stuck? They had to make up stuff because nothing that they did, that they charged him with, he hadn't done anything. And how can you be a grown man and you can't see that? And this mess been going on for what, 10 years, Mike? Since 2015? Yep, Mike said he got them like little girls. Yeah. Yep. I ain't thinking about what they saying, just running off at the mouth. Man, what are you talking about? He grabbed good girl. Me and Mike was laughing about that. Remember that Trump said he grabbed women in the, you know what? Man, I remember back in high school, we was doing what? Come on, man. That's exactly what we were doing in high school. Trying to grab the girls. But I guess y'all, I don't know, but maybe y'all, I don't know. Mr. Ellison said these Democrat men on the DL. Y'all don't mind all that stuff because look, open your eyes. But anyway, let's see what we got. We got look, let me tell you how we're gonna roll. I'm not the best content creator. There are a lot of people that have a lot more experience, and they know what they're doing, and they do a great job. And there are some people that I try to check out every single day, not only to get content but to get knowledge and wisdom. And one of them definitely is Anton Daniels. And so let's take a look and see. I want to show you this. Oops. Okay, this is the right button right here. But anyway, I want to show you this right here, what Anton said. Yeah, okay, there it is. But I want you to check out what Anton said about Kamala Harris, and then we'll go from there. I just want you to check it.
In a million years, you would never get me to vote for Kamala Harris. You can put a gun to my head and say, hey, either you vote for Kamala Harris or I'm pulling the trigger, and I'm going to take my chances with the gun jam. Because I just believe that God got us. We no longer, as Black men, a part of the Democratic plantation, and we can learn to think for ourselves. And it was dependent on our women and our parents to continue to finesse us and tell us that we had to vote Democrat just because we Black. But an informed voter is a dangerous voter. And the fact that we can think for ourselves and we educated and we got resources, listen, you are the most powerful being on this earth when you become informed, because you unlock your mind to the possibilities of a what if. I'm not telling you that you have to vote Republican, but I am telling you that you are not obligated just because the people that came before you is trying to finesse you and to think one way. You can think for yourself. And a million.
Now, y'all see that? Ain't that something? Now, what he's saying is the same thing Mike just said. He said that the Democratic Party, they tried to get the women to finesse us and do all that stuff, right? And that the Civil Rights Act is pretty much what that was. It removed the men from the house, and it changed the dynamics of the Black community. And we're feeling that we're suffering from that now, and that's why a lot of men act like women. Because they were raised by women, right? Right? Didn't Mike say, what did Mike say about that? Gospel like little girls. So a lot of people, a lot of men, they don't analyze stuff like a man. They twist it and play with it like little girls, I guess. And then we got the Democratic Party. Man, those people, name something that they do that makes any sense. Name something that they do that, y'all type that in the chat. Tell me something that the Democratic Party does that makes sense. They would say they're the ones that are uneducated. Mike says, he grabbed pretty girls. Damon was speaking to everybody. Mike says, what's up, Damon? Everybody speaking. Anton is right. Yeah. So Anton said, if you put a gun in his head, he ain't voting for no deal. He's not doing that because he knows where the evil, the whole thing is it's an evil organization. Like Mr. Ellison says, it's an evil organization. That's what it is. It's anti-Christian, pro-life. Look how many babies they've killed. And then they changed that to women's rights. No, that's not women's rights. It's murder. That's what the hell it is. I got another video that I discovered today. I'm not even sure what this guy's name is. I was getting ready to get ready for the night, and I'll be looking for stuff, and I ran across the channel. This guy here, man, he said they put this stuff in the and categorize it as left and right, and that's what have everybody throw it off. Now, what do I always say about that? It has nothing to do with left or right, Republican or Democrat. It's about good versus evil. And that's how you have to see it. Now, when you look at it that way, If you look at it black and white, look at it with color, you're going to get confused. You're going to get confused. But it's either good, it came from heaven, or it's evil, it came from hell. And guess what? That mess from hell, it doesn't even have any power. Only what you give it. Satan ain't nothing. All you got to do is get to stepping. You could outrun him. You could outwork him. He lazy. But so many people being influenced by all those lies. That means Satan is influencing you. And it's not good. The truth will set you free. And it says we should seek the truth. You have to be looking for it. If somebody run up on you and whoop, right? You first thing you trying to figure out is he telling the truth, right? Just because somebody sit at a news desk with a towel, does that mean they're telling you the truth? I was looking at CNN the other day, and I said, I don't know, I was just going through the channels and stuff, and I said, let me look over here and see what in the world, why are people looking at this stuff? Because I'm looking at the numbers, and I'm seeing that CNN is about to go out of business. Yet nobody's watching them anymore. And so why are some people still influenced by that? And so I look over there and see that what they do, they show you a part of a clip. They don't even show you video, they show you pictures. And then they tell you what Donald Trump said, which is usually a lie. They're paraphrasing something. And then they tell you what you should think about it. And that's how they get people. Because they're telling you what to think. They're telling you what you see. And then they're telling you what you think about it. That's crazy. That's crazy. And people sit there and watch that stuff every day. Now, on the other channel, the man that they're talking about is talking live. Project 2025. Remember that? President Trump said, what is that? When they asked him about that, he said, huh? What is Project 2020? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Let me check it out. 2 days later, they asked him again. He said, yeah, that was written by some people that I fired. And no, I don't subscribe to that. I don't even know what's in there. I know who wrote it because y'all told me, but I don't have anything to do with that. And then how long did they got some good miles out of that. Then they ran that for about a month. Project 2025. They just pulling stuff out of he gonna cut Social Security, he gonna do this. Anybody check got cut slash yet? I know my classmates, a lot of them were screaming in the house, especially the women. He gonna cut the check, and we gonna get less money and all this stuff. I ain't seen nobody say that yet. But that's Project 2025. And then black people, you supposed to be getting ready to go, right? It's time to roll up out of here. You got to go back to Africa. Didn't he say that in Project 2025? Isn't that what they say he said? Right? Did they say that? They even say they worship Satan. Yep. What's up, Carlos? Who are you going to listen to? Yeah. Mike says the thinking man does what is right. A Democrat man does what he is told. What? You said a mouthful there. We need to put that on a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt right there, man. What up, twin? Right there, get that, man. That's a t-shirt right there. We need to shoot. Come on, man. That's the truth. A thinking man does what's right. A Democrat man does what he's told. Yep. Bash everybody that's mad. What that was? Okay. All right. Boy, with Project 2025, there's some people supposed to be going back. Hey, Mike, anybody had somebody knock on the door, you know, and you went to the door and it's Kunta Kinte and say he from your cousin from Africa, from the Congo, and he you know his great auntie and great granddad and great granddad was put on a ship and was sent from Africa over here, and he's tracing down the lineage, and he found out that you know y'all cousins. Anybody knock on the door? And I'm trying to figure out when you have to go back to Africa, where are they going to send you? Or do you know where you're supposed to go? Are you going to the Sudan or the Congo? Or where you going? Tanzania? Oh, Kenya. You and Obama. They gonna send you back to Kenya. I know when they send Obama, they got to send him back to Kenya. We're gonna find out some truth about that, right? Look at all that mess. They come up with the Epstein stuff. What was that for? That was to cover up the fact that Obama's being indicted. So the news, so they don't have to say anything about that. But some heads about to roll, though. But there's a lot of stuff. The Democrats are in trouble. Is it Democrats going to jail? Is that what we're seeing? It's a lot of that going on, isn't it? But look, I got another clip. Mr. Ellison, Vince Ellison, was on Newsmax, I believe it was, and they was talking about D.C. and how that place is a war zone, and then the people on the other people are crying. They crying racism because President Trump is trying to clean the mess up. But anyway, let's look at this clip right here. And I want you to check this out.
It's kind of hard to watch. Democrats have spent the past week dying on another unnecessary hill. Instead of thanking President Trump for finally being bold enough to do something to address the crime problem that has plagued Washington for decades, they're pulling out doctored charts and graphs trying to convince people that the city is safe while they're getting carjacked. And much of the most violent crime is happening in majority black neighborhoods, the same places that have overwhelmingly supported Democrat candidates for decades in the city are now suffering, but somehow it's Donald Trump who's the racist.
He just came in, said I'm taking over, and then announced I'm going to other cities, all of whom have black mayors: Los Angeles, Oakland, Chicago, New York. I'm going after all these cities, not one Republican city, not one white mayor.
I'm a black woman in America.
Oh, he just admitted. Huh? And if you got your thinking caps on, what did he just really say? He just say all the black-run cities are in trouble. That's really what he just said. But he's going to frame it a different way and try to tell the people how to think about it. Watch this.
I do not always think that more police make streets safer. When you walk down the streets of Georgetown, you don't see a police officer on every corner, but you don't feel unsafe. So what is it about talking about places like Southeast D.C., right? Ward 8, if you will.
They seem to hold their harshest criticism sometimes for cities that are majority black and brown.
Okay, joining us now for more, host of the John Amachuku Show on YouTube, Pastor John Amachuku, and host of the Vince Everett Ellison Show, Vince Everett Ellison. Gentlemen, great to have you back on. The New York Times.
Now, wisdom just showed up. Watch this.
Times, with maybe the most dramatic report of the day describing these National Guard troops in the Capitol. Here's the quote. About a dozen members of the National Guard appeared in 5 military vehicles near the Washington Monument as the sun set, a stark juxtaposition to a peaceful evening scene of people jogging by with headphones and walking their dogs. Vince, does the New York Times not get that those National Guard troops are there to keep those same dog walkers and joggers safe in the first place?
They don't want these people safe. The Democratic Party wins by using fear. Look, John and I go to Washington, D.C., and John and I are 2 big men. And we know when we go into D.C., we got to be ready to fight. Man, I went to the Mayflower Hotel, a 5-star hotel in D.C. 2 or 3 weeks ago. I came out, 2 dudes were fighting, and I said, man, you better get back. I mean, seriously, you cannot go anywhere in D.C. without seeing foolishness and fighting. The Democrats are a Democrat Party. Heaven is an American hell. Everywhere they rule, you have nothing but murder, mayhem, destruction. And as long as they can keep the chaos, as long as they can keep the fear, as long as they can keep these people hiding, they know they can maintain their power. See, what I tell you, a bunch of chaos, a bunch of crap, a bunch of rigmarole all the time. Chaotic. That's Satan.
John, take a listen to Senate Minority Leader. This is Chuck Schumer talking about just how safe Washington really is.
Now here come the lies. Watch this.
A lot of folks on the Republican side, your Republican colleagues, say that they are very scared to walk outside in D.C., that they think this is completely the right thing to do. Senator, are you scared walking around Washington, D.C. these days?
I walk around all the time. I wake up early in the morning sometimes and take a nice walk as the sun is rising around some of the Capitol and the other monuments and things, and I feel perfectly safe. They're full of it.
He's such a liar. So, Pastor John, he's got 4 Secret Service agents. It's unbelievable. He's got 4 Secret Service agents assigned to him 24/7 because he's Senate Minority Leader. No wonder he feels safe.
Of course. You know, listen, Chuck Schumer and even the individuals that you showed in your montage from god-awful MSNBC, these people are playing the race game. They don't want to address the real issue that needs to be talked about. 91.5% of the crimes that took place in DC in 2023 and in 2024, they were committed by Blacks, the people who look just like the cowards who are now gaslighting us and telling us that there's no crime taking place in DC. So instead of addressing the fatherlessness issue in the Black community, instead of talking about weak laws and being soft on crime, they would rather pass the buck.
We looked into it.
Yeah, and look at that. Y'all see that? All of the tent city and all that stuff. President Trump has already cleaned that up. But guess what he did? He didn't put those people. They have a place to stay now. They being put up. Okay, y'all remember all the illegal aliens that came into the cities were being put up in hotels, 5-star hotels, and given meals and all that. Well, President Trump y'all gotta go. Y'all here illegally. You going back home. And now President Trump, they're using the same facilities. And now the American people are being able to take advantage of that. And so some of those people need to go to, they need some mental help. They'll go to mental health facilities. Some of those people just, because of the economy, they couldn't pay the rent. They're just down on their luck. So they'll have a place to stay. President Trump got jobs coming, right? So everything is rolling. So what's the problem? Why are Democrats bitching, moaning, and whining and complaining?
If you look at the 50 largest cities in America by population, only 3 have a Republican mayor: Oklahoma City, Miami, and Dallas, Texas. You got to go way down the list, like Bakersfield, California, to find another city in the country with a Republican mayor. That's just a fact. By the way, Vince, look at this. We've got photos of people on the National Mall with those National Guard troops yesterday. These are tourists and residents. They all look pretty darn happy that the National Guard is there, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, look, Washington, D.C. is the front porch of America. Ambassadors from all over the world come there. People from all over the world come to D.C. It is our nation's capital. And I'm telling you, when you go there, it's a shame what you see. When you're driving from the airport, you see homeless people. You see people begging. You can't sit down outside and have dinner or on a very nice day without somebody walking up to you trying to harass you for money. You know, people are getting shot. They had that little congressional staffer, young man, he got shot. People getting carjacked. And then people go back to their countries all over the world and they ask, what about Washington? And they say Washington is a dump. And it's a dump because the Democratic Party is running it.
John, I just want to get you on this. This is just in D.C. So 2022, a report came out, 77% of Black births in Washington were to unwed mothers, meaning single-parent households. That number is outrageously high, 77%, pretty close to 100%. You think maybe that's part of the problem in places like Ward 8? Simone Sanders is comparing Georgetown, one of the wealthiest neighborhoods in D.C., to Ward 8, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in any city in the entire country. You think maybe that's part of the problem, Simone?
Yeah.
Of course it is. You know, when DC is positioned in a manner where, you know, cities like Compton are safer than DC, Bogota, Mexico City, New York, you know, the crime is, you know, in DC is six times higher than that of New York.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a travesty. And when you look at the carjackings that took place in DC in 2023, the majority of those carjackings were done by kids ages 12 to 16.
Right.
What does that say? There's no father at home. There's no order. It's chaos. So now the prison system and the legal system has to now be the surrogate parent. And if that's the case, lock them up.
Pastor John, Vince Everett Ellison, great to see you both. Thank you.
Boy, y'all see that? Now, when you see Brother Ellison and Pastor right there, man, that's wisdom. I check those brothers out every single day. And Brother Ellison did a piece on Martin Luther King. Y'all really need to check that out. You'll find out a lot of things that they've been telling us is just not true. So, I don't know, Mike, you too heavy for Mike says, no, I thought you, huh? I thought you was from Tanzania. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where people say they got it. President Trump gonna send them back to Africa. How the hell are they gonna figure out where they're supposed to go? Who's supposed to do that, right? But Daniel said Obama would be supposed to be in jail. Mike said Obama getting executed. Yeah, he in a little trouble. Mike said he got pictures of Schumer kissing a little black girl. Yeah, they pedophiles. That's where all the pedophilia, that's where all this stuff is. The whole thing is about the children. And all these children that are missing and being exploited and trafficked. And all of this stuff is about to come out, ladies and gentlemen. And all of that stuff is straight demonic. And there's some Republicans tied up in this mess too. So I'm not just saying it's all Democrats, but Democrats for sure. Their whole platform is demonic. Okay, now let's move on. Let's see what we got. Okay, let me get rid of that. Let me get that one out of there. Now there's another channel because I said I was gonna turn y'all on to different content creators, and this one is Doc Rich, young man, and his channel has he has over 1 million subscribers, going on 2 million. And he just finds things that are interesting and just put them on the screen. Does a little commentary on it and just presents the truth. So let me show you what I mean and how you can find different content creators, and so you can keep up with what's going on. Now, this piece right here is about the people that's in DC and what those people are saying, Black people are saying about what Donald Trump did. Now, let me make sure I got that on the screen. Yeah. These people are standing up for President Trump, Black folks. So let's see what they're talking about. All right, check it out.
if you're not going to help any of those homeless people in DC that are being picked up off the streets, why do you have a problem with how the government is solving the problem?
See?
The fact of the matter is this: they need help and the streets need to be cleaned up. So if you're not going to let them come live with you, take a shower in your bathroom, take a shit in your toilet, I don't see what the problem is. We have the same problem here in LA, right? You got to understand something. Most of these people are mentally ill or a drug addict, right? And they need help. They're getting the help they need. They don't have family members to come pick them up, drop them off. So social workers, police, and mental health teams are out there on the streets doing their jobs.
Yep.
I don't see what the big deal is. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see what the complaining is about. We are never going to fix this country if every time somebody makes a decision, the people complain, especially with one like this.
And it's not even the people, it's paid protesters.
Yep.
It's paid protesters. I think most people understand and realize we can't have these homeless encampments all over the streets. Okay. Mm-hmm. Are homeless people humans? Absolutely. And we're going to treat them as such, but we can't have homeless encampments all over the streets, a bunch of littering and trash and everything else, right? We can't have that. So Trump is taking the homeless people off of the streets and either putting them in a homeless shelter and getting them the help that they need. And if they resist, I believe he said he's going to put them in prison, in jail. I mean, it's simple. We're cleaning up the streets. We're offering you a helping hand by putting you in a shelter and giving you some assistance. And if you want to resist, okay, well then fine. We'll put you in jail then. Cool. But we're going to clean this up. We're going to clean this up. People should be able to walk up and down the street without having to dodge puddles of pee, sometimes poop, trash, garbage, right? You got tents on the sidewalk. People shouldn't have to be walking around this stuff. People shouldn't have to be walking around this stuff. So yes, we're going to clean it up. Now, we're also going to assist you in the process. But of course, you got these paid protesters who are oftentimes not even from these places.
Yep. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Doc Rich, and he has almost 2 million subscribers. And I'm telling you to check him out on a daily basis. But these are people that are, this is people in D.C. that he's showing that the people in D.C., they don't have a problem. The black people, they saying, man, it's about time somebody come do something about this stuff, right? And a lot of people that's on the street, the people need help, man. Nobody's helping them. They just threw them away. They're just out there. That's crazy. And so President Trump is like, no, man, okay, we finna feed you and water you down, get you cleaned up, and then see what you need to do next. Right? If you need some mental attention, we got it. Those are the people that's on the streets. And the National Guard is guarding them, keeping them from getting mugged and jumped on and all that kind of stuff. That's what's really going on. But yeah, this is Doc Rich. He's breaking this thing down. And then we found out that Lawrence Jones on the Fox I think he's going to follow up on this. We found it out that the protesters from around the world, when you see protesters on TV, they are being paid that they don't even believe in what they out there doing. I made several videos on that. Because I noticed when, if you look at the protests, look at what they have on. A lot of times they got on the same type of clothes. If they supposed to be sleeping over the same tents, the same signs. Somebody's organizing all that. And it takes money to do that. So we found out a whole lot of stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, all the evil stuff is on the Democrat side. Let me let Doc Rich wrap this up.
That are being paid to come out and protest something that's actually super beneficial. And let's jump into some folks that actually live in D.C. And I want y'all to take a close look at some of these clips, man, because what Trump is doing in D.C. is absolutely helping. Don't believe the mainstream media lies. And here it is from just a regular citizen living his life in D.C. Check it out.
I remember going to the gas station in DC even just a month ago. I would never do this. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's quiet, safe out here, man. Safe. I remember a few months ago, my brother had his door open. Somebody carjacked him right here in Northeast, right up the street, actually. Got carjacked, my SUV got taken. Yo, y'all hear the helicopters out here? Oh, yeah, we got the helicopters out here. Like, DC is safe.
Safe. Guy is in, it looked like an Escalade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an Escalade. Guy is in an Escalade, $100,000 vehicle, right? Actually, I think they're over 100,000. And leaving the door open, which he says somebody he knows, I believe he said his brother, just got carjacked from leaving his door open. And now he's in a over $100,000 car leaving the door open now. Just walking around like nothing's going on because it's safe.
Yep.
It's safe. Trump is cleaning up the streets for the citizens of DC, and they're absolutely loving it, man. Absolutely loving it. Check out this clip.
So now y'all mad at Trump for cleaning up DC, cleaning up the nation's capital. And I think it's crazy, especially if you a DMV native. When we go out and do things, we typically go to DC. We all have seen some BS in DC. I've lost friends to gun violence in DC. I've been out partying and heard gunshots in DC. Then you go somewhere like the Wharf to the Felipe Chow and people getting robbed at Felipe Chow. And I can continue, but I ain't really trying to go there today. But it ain't safe, and you can't even really enjoy yourself, man. Oh, one more. They said the Capital One Arena is the most dangerous arena in the country. And if you've been down there in Gallery Place, you already know. So knowing that these things affect us and affect our safety, especially y'all with kids, how can you get mad at that? Like, I promise y'all, and listen, I'm in the middle. I don't rock with either party. But if Biden or Kamala was doing this, y'all would be happy. Yep. Real talk. Like, I know the little young YNs is out of control, man. And y'all sick of them too. But again, y'all just like to be outraged about anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's perfectly on point, right? Because if this was Kamala or Joe Biden doing the exact same thing, they would all be clapping for it. Oh my goodness, this is so amazing. Thank you for coming to help. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. They would all be clapping like a bunch of seals in a circus. They would have any type of issue with it, but because it's Trump, it's all of a sudden a major problem. Because it's Trump, it's this huge negative thing. It's super bad. Trump just wants to be a dictator. Absolutely ridiculous.
Do you not understand that this is what the residents want? I'm not talking about the bougie upper echelons, bougie blacks. I'm talking about the everyday grandmas that have to deal with these homeless people peeing and pooping on their steps, and then they have to clean it up. They don't feel safe when they walk into their neighborhood. The gangs and the dope boys are just standing around the corner, like. Do you not understand this is what they want? I remember working with a community leader and somebody had just gotten shot. This is like 5 years ago. And I remember her praying and she said, Crystal, we're going to have to invoke the National Guard. And that was so foreign to me. Now I understand these people are helpless. And I'm not talking about the bougie black people that live in their gated communities with their new bills. I'm talking about the everyday grandmothers. And I'm so glad that President Trump cares about that.
Yep. You see? Y'all see what's going on? What's come on, man. And the Democrats are complaining. They're complaining about that. I looked at another video today, the Defiant lawyer, and he did a video about that today. And I went off. I left a lot of comments on there, and I want to get back on there and check and see what he said. I really want to talk to this guy. I need to talk to him because this stuff doesn't make any sense. This guy is saying that all the problems in DC is behind white supremacy. Come on, man. Come on, man. But the people in DC are cool. Everybody, the people in DC like, yeah, man, it's about time. Somebody need to do something. Because these YNs around here, man, they raising hell. And I think what the people that's got prison records, I think what they doing, they sending the young kids out to commit the crimes and stuff now. Because they don't never get any time. They take them to jail, book them, and send them back home. Because they juveniles and stuff, and they say you don't supposed to punish them and lock them up and do all that stuff because they don't know what they're doing, and so they just running wild. They know nothing's gonna happen, and so they just doing all kind of stuff, right? Yeah, that escalated. Yeah, that was a big one. Biden and Kamala not gonna do that. They'll never do anything that's gonna make any sense. I remember I asked y'all the types of stuff in the chat while ago. I don't see nothing. Y'all supposed to type. What you supposed to type? Name something that the Democrats do that's positive, or something that they have done that makes sense. I didn't see nothing. Didn't nobody type nothing. Where y'all at? Any Democrats in the house? What the hell going on? Oh man. But anyway, so we're gonna keep moving. I appreciate y'all dropping in. We are almost at 7,000 subscribers. Man, ain't that something? That's because of you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And also, we got merch. You can go over to UncleCoon.com, the website, and we got t-shirts. Let me show you. This is one. Big Al. Subscribe to the channel shirt. And so you can get that. You can pick that up. Right? Y'all see? And you can get, man, we got a lot of stuff over there. We got I used to be a Democrat shirt. We got, obviously, we got shirts with Uncle Coon and Trump. We got the taking out the garbage truck shirt. That's Damon's favorite shirt, where we taking out the garbage truck with people that try to come at us on Facebook. We put them in the garbage truck. And me and Trump driving the truck. And we got them jokers in the back, the garbage. And so we got some Mike, my son Mike has Mr. Authentic, his line of clothes, his shirts over there as well. So y'all check us out. Check out the merch at UncleCoon.com. And let me also share with you that today's show is sponsored by Taylor Tax, where you get your money back, right? We know how to do that. I remember 10 years ago, we started doing taxes, and Obamacare hit, and man, that was the second year I was doing taxes. And Obamacare hit for $3,500. Everybody had to pay $3,500. I would put the information in the system, and the software immediately said negative $3,500 for Obamacare. It was the worst. That's one of the worst programs ever, y'all. I tell you, the Democrats say one thing, but what you see is something else. Everybody was bitching and complaining about it. You couldn't get on the system, and the people that really benefited from it were people that didn't pay anything anyway, and then they clogged up the system. The people that wasn't contributing any money, any kind of way, nowhere, no fashion, no nothing. They were living on the system, and now they were getting a medical card, and people were going to the emergency room for mosquito bites. And a lot of people, just because they had a new card and they had the Obamacare for free, they were bomb rushing emergency rooms for trivial stuff that they never would have gone for if they hadn't had a card. And so they ran up the cost to the health insurance companies and put some of them out of business. A lot of health companies went out of business behind Obamacare, and a lot of the bigger ones got hurt real bad, and they had to lay off people. A lot of Black people got laid off. But see, the news media, they don't tell you all that. But you got to be looking. So we make videos and send it to people, and guess what they do, Mike? I don't want to see that. They call us a liar, and they say the news is telling the truth. Boy, I don't know. You can't see the lies? But anyway, pay the tax. We learned then how to get money back from the IRS system. And we believe that they are corrupt. I believed it then. That's why I started doing taxes. I think they are corrupt. I believe that your money, you should get it. It should be yours. You work for it. And I don't think you'd have to send it to the United States government so they could send it overseas or do whatever the hell they want. They don't do nothing. What do they do that's positive, right? But they're taking more and more money, right? And so I'm telling you, I'm committed to Tater Tax. Me and my crew, we are committed to getting your money back. And I believe that Donald Trump, in the big, beautiful bill, he's made some more concessions. And for people to get more money, he raised the taxes. The child tax credit is higher. So if you had kids, you're going to get more money back. But you need somebody like Big Al that knows what to do to get you the money, right? So all you got to do is go to our website, tatertaxservice.com, and click on there, and you can submit your information and do everything you need right there. And then we show you, we get your money back, we submit it, we do an e-form, we will get it done, we'll send you an email and show you what we did, and then you let us know if you want us to push the button. And guess what? It doesn't cost you anything. It's no money out of your pocket. We make the IRS pay you, and we make the IRS pay us. Ain't that something? That is Tater Tax Service, ladies and gentlemen. We're the home offices in Louisiana, but we can help you in all 50 states. All 50 states. It doesn't matter where you live, we can help you. We appreciate you dropping in. Appreciate you dropping in. I'm your host, Big Al, UncleCoon, and I am so grateful that you have dropped in on a Sunday night to spend some time with us. So let's move along a little bit. Now we got the sponsor out of the way, but we got this video right here I ran up on today, and this makes so much sense. This young man right here, I don't even, let me see. I just ran up on him today, and let me make sure I got his name. His name is Raymond Abraham. Abraham. And he has a channel. I haven't subscribed yet because I don't know what all else he's talking about, but I believe this video right here made a lot of sense. And so I wanted to share that with you. But he believes that the problem that we are having is we don't look at things as good and evil, which is what I say all the time. The media has tricked us, and they come up with all these terms, the left versus the right and all that, which I think is ridiculous. Democrats versus Republicans. That's part of the problem. And this is why men cannot make a decision. I believe you have to look at these things and see if they are good or if they are evil. And this gentleman right here does a great job of that. Let's check it out.
Let's talk about one of the most dangerous habits on our side. Something so subtle, we don't even realize we're doing it. It's the casual, constant use of the term the left. Now, I get it. It feels like convenient shorthand, left versus right, liberals versus conservatives, that old political spectrum we've all been taught to believe in. But here's the thing. That spectrum is a complete lie. It's not just false, it's a trap. It forces us to frame every issue as if we're just choosing between two flavors of opinion, as if truth and falsehood, order and chaos, good and evil are just personal preferences. And that's exactly how the madness spreads. By calling it the left, we make it sound like it's just a different viewpoint, legitimate, respectable, maybe even worth considering. It's not. It's wrong. It's insane. And in many cases, it's pure evil. Let me give you an example. A man says he's a woman. He demands access to women's bathrooms, women's prisons, women's sports. He insists that you affirm his delusion or be punished. Is this just the left? No, it's a big fat lie. And when you call it leftist, you give it structure. You give it standing. You turn insanity into ideology. You let it sit at the table as if it deserves to be there. It doesn't. It belongs outside with the rest of the trash. Here's the real danger. Once you buy into the left versus right dichotomy, you stop judging things by where they're true and start judging them by where they land on the line. Oh, I guess drag queens reading to kids is just something on the left. Wrong. It's not left. It's predatory. Oh, I guess aborting babies is just their position on reproductive rights. Wrong. It's murder. The language currently being employed flattens the moral universe. It takes objective eternal truths and makes them sound like opinions. It turns perversion into expression, blasphemy into progress, and delusion into identity. This isn't just semantics, it's warfare, linguistic warfare. And the left, yes, that's what they also call themselves, understands it perfectly. They've spent decades reprogramming language, redefining words like man, woman, marriage, freedom, justice, even reality itself. And now the right is playing along. They say gender affirming care, we say trans surgery. They say choice, we say abortion. They say minor attracted persons, and we still call them progressive. Why? Could it be because we're afraid to call it what it is? Evil? Because we think calling it left is safer, more polite? But that's not just weak, it's collaboration. If we're serious about defending truth, we have to stop pretending this is about politics. This is not left versus right. This is truth versus falsehood, sanity versus delusion. Yes, light versus darkness. And here's the thing, this didn't used to be political at all. Even atheists used to believe in facts. Even liberals used to know what a woman was. But now they've thrown out truth entirely. It's not just there is no God, it's there's no reality. And we're still out here talking about the political spectrum, still pretending that people who think they're the opposite gender are just far left, still acting like this is a policy disagreement. No, this is a war, a spiritual war. People of faith should know this more than anyone else. God never gave a spectrum. He gave commandments. He gave law. He gave truth and warned what happens when it's rejected. There is no middle ground between truth and falsehood. There is no compromise between male and female. There is no neutral position when children are being mutilated, when lies are being codified, when evil is being paraded through the streets like a virtue. So stop calling it the left. Stop giving this madness the dignity of ideology. Stop giving it a place at the table. It's not leftist to say men can breastfeed. It's not leftist to say kids can change sex. It's not leftist to teach porn in schools. It's insanity. It's perversion. It's war against reality. And when you call it left, you help it hide. Instead, call it what it is. Call it evil. Call it confusion. Call it rebellion, cowardice, or madness. But don't call it just the other side. Because the truth is not one end of a spectrum. The truth is a rock, unmoving, unchanging. And everything else is either built on it or shattered by it. So speak like it, fight like it, and stop giving ground, especially with your words. Because in the end, this isn't about politics. It's about truth. And there is no left or right when it comes to truth. There is only right or wrong.
Man, wasn't that something right there? Well, I'm trying to tell you, did y'all hear that? That was on point. That, ladies and gentlemen, was on point. And I just discovered that today. That was the truth. All of this mess is good versus evil. I've been screaming about this. Matter of fact, one of the first videos we made was about good versus evil. And that's what it is. And I think that's where the devil has people confused, because they come up with all these different categories, all this stuff that doesn't mean anything. And then people try to categorize it. I know a lot of times on Facebook, when people talking to me, they coming up with all these old crazy words, you know, it's fascism, it's this and that, and all that, woo, 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 and all that. I don't even know what your definition of that crap is. And most of the people, if you ask them what they're talking about, you don't even hear from them no more, Mike. They can't put two paragraphs together to say they life. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just repeat what the hell they heard, which is totally ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. What can you prove, butthead? He's a racist. How long you gonna keep saying that? Where's the proof? Surely by now, President Trump, as much as he in front of a microphone, surely he would have said, I don't like black people by now. Where is the clip? What bus, y'all? Are you gonna pick your own plane when you get ready to go back? right? Y'all should have been gone by now, right? Do you got to go back to Project 2025? Don't you supposed to be gone back to Africa? You supposed to be in the Congo, shelling peas and running from anacondas. Don't you supposed to be? You from Kenya? You're playing drums and dancing. Do you live? When you go back over there, you gonna have a straw hut or a mud hut? How in the world do you think one man gonna send a group of people out of the country like that? And they're American people. You were born American. You have rights. There's no way in hell a president, let alone, and I've never heard President Trump say anything like that. So why do you keep believing that crap? 7 months in, he hadn't indicated anything about black or white, no kind of way. He keeps saying American. And I see one of the biggest speeches, one of the greatest speeches, I did a video on that I've ever heard. He's done every time I've heard him. I've said that, probably about 7 or 8 times, because and he always started off with we. We are all Americans. Rarely do you ever hear the President Trump ever say white, black, or brown. He doesn't say that. That's not how he sees the world. He sees Americans as Americans, and he wants to make sure that in America, which is the greatest country on the planet, that we are living like that. That's what his goal is. And he wants to be the greatest president. He wants to be the peacekeeper. He wants to make sure that people are not dying on his watch. What kind of president you think he would be if he's over there talking to Putin and Zelensky about the soldiers, the people that's dying in Russia and Ukraine, and then people dying on the streets in America, and he's not doing anything about that? What kind of president would he be? The man is a humanitarian, compassionate person. He's trying to save everybody, make sure everybody is cool. What's wrong with that? And the Democrats screaming and hollering, man, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. I'm gonna roll with the winner. I just said the other day, man, I wish I could get a chance to Anton, Mr. Ellison, Terrence Williams, President Trump. If I can shake those men hand, that's wisdom right there. I listen to them every day. I don't know who y'all listening to. Roland Martin. Some of y'all still listening to Joy Reid. Boy. And those people tell you one lie after another one. Every 2 weeks is another lie. How do you do that? But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all dropping in. Facebook, I see you. I appreciate you dropping in. Appreciate you showing the love. Hit the like button. That helps the channel grow. And share the video. Leave us a comment. But anyway, we got a couple more things. Let me show you this. Let me see what we got. This is this young man right here. Well, he's middle-aged man. But he's talking about the same thing about what's wrong with the Democrats and why they're complaining about cleaning up the city. And I don't know why the Democrats are complaining about anything at all, because what they need to do is sit back and enjoy the ride that President Trump has got us, man, because the country is headed in the right direction. And I believe that with everything that's in me. But this gentleman right here, he talks about people complaining and the Democrats complaining, and he has a channel. It's called On the Stoop. And but check it out.
I'm just here today to ask the question, what is wrong with the Democratic Party? You know, I'm not saying that to be sarcastic or anything. I'm right now in like probably the headquarters of the Democratic Party, which is New York City. And just across the country, I've been seeing how they are so resistant to any type of federal assistance.
With Lucid Spark, you can bring your team's best and brightest ideas to life. The virtual whiteboard.
And it's to the detriment of the people that they're representing, especially people in low income areas, especially Black people like myself. It's as if we don't have any representatives. We don't have anyone representing us. Like right now, for example, in DC, Washington, DC, the federal government is taking over the police department because of the out of control crime that's going on in Washington, DC. And it's been like that for the longest. I mean, decades. They've had a serious crime problem. Any place right outside the capital area, if you go anywhere that's not in particular areas, crime it's a war zone. And it should never be like that, especially in the capital of the United States. And we have a president that wants to put a stop to it. And who's the resistance? The Democrats. They're resisting it. Tooth and nail, they're fighting the federal government from doing anything about the crime problem, even though children are getting killed and shot. Young boys are killing each other, carjacking. Stores are closing because of shoplifting, because of robberies and crimes and looting. And when you go to a store in any of these Black communities, you have to ask someone to get you, a lot of the things that you want to buy because it's behind plexiglass and lock and key. And it's as if our representatives don't see this. They don't think anything is wrong. Right in the DC, Baltimore area, they did a study a few years back that they went to 23 schools and they couldn't find a kid that could read, that could do math on their level, on their grade level.
Math is a critical subject for kids to learn in school, but test scores in Maryland are revealing a devastating reality that students just aren't getting it. The Maryland State Department of Education released the 2022 state test results and found just 7% of 3rd through 8th graders are proficient in math. That means 93% of kids are not where they should be in the subject. Even more troublesome for the state, in its greatest metropolitan area, 23 Baltimore schools had 0 students meet the standard. 2,000 students took the math test, and not one could do math at grade level.
But these are the very cities that want to import people from all over the world and use resources to educate and house and feed people from all over the world. And they haven't even taken care of their constituents, the people that are American citizens that elected them. They just neglect them. And if any help is offered from the federal government, they reject it and they fight against it and they spend money filing lawsuits to prevent any type of federal intervention. I saw a report about the DC situation when the president first started talking about taking it over, and they were saying that last year 29 boys, Black boys, teenagers, consider them children, got murdered. And then this year they said 17 had got murdered. So they were feeling like, hey, we don't need the federal government. Look, we're doing better. As if 17 young children, young boys is doing better. Like you don't need any help and people are dying. People are getting killed on a regular and getting carjacked and being traumatized. And
there's been a great deal of discussion about crime in the district. And the other day, I wanted to get a sense of what is actually happening in the District of Columbia. I asked for the number of teens who have been shot and killed by gunfire. Teens, everyone under the age of 20. As you can see, in 2024, we have, I believe I said it was, how many? Yeah. As you can see, in 2024, we have 29 individuals who were shot and killed in the district, all teens, some as young as 3 years of age, okay, because of gunfire. Some of these cases are solved, some of them are not solved. But what this makes clear to me is that there is a whole community that is suffering because of the violent crime in this district. And anyone who wants to tell me the crime is down and that we don't need an emergency focus on crimes of violence, all they need to do is take a look at this and talk to the loved ones and the family members of these individuals, all shot and killed long before their time. Now, over here are the individuals who were shot and killed under the age of 20, all teenagers in 2025. And the number here is 16. Again, all members of the minority community here. I don't know how many of these cases have been solved, but what I can tell you is, again, it's guns on the streets. It's individuals who are not concerned about accountability, who don't have any reason to fear law enforcement. I am here today to tell you that on behalf of all of these victims, all of these families, that they're going to be accountable, that we are going to make a difference, and that we are going to make sure that law enforcement is focused on these innocent, now silent victims of crime in the district.
Man, y'all see that? Do y'all see what's going on? Y'all see? Y'all getting it? That is crazy. So now President Trump has moved Judge Jeanine Pirro. Okay, yeah. Judge Jeanine Pirro is the district attorney for Washington, D.C., the District of Washington, D.C. And she is there to crack down and make sure that people get the proper care when they commit crimes. They're going to start going to jail doing time, and that's going to stop all that stuff. So the Democrats, with all this complaining and going on, talking about Project 2025, the Democrats are more destructive than anybody in the chat. Can you name something that President Trump did that you think is destructive? Can anybody name something that, what has President Trump done that's destructive? Okay, now let's see what we got. Didn't have to have the running wild. Biden and Kamala was not going to do that. Okay, let me go. Let's see what Mike said. Let's get him the 10,000. Oh, y'all trying to give me the 10,000? I appreciate it. Let's do it. Listen, we working on. Damon said we working on it. All right. Shout outs to Damon. Damon is Damon be trolling people, man. But Damon called me one time. He said, "Man, I'm through with you." What was that, Damon? What was? Damon said, "I ain't fooling with you no more, man." I forgot what I did. I did something. Damon said, "It's over, man. You done went too far." But anyway, it was something, one of them clowns on there. But yeah, Mike said we all gotta hook up one day. Yeah, we'll get that done. We have some little powwow. Yep. Let's see. Can anybody name something that the Democrats have done that's positive? I asked y'all about what have they done? Anybody? Mike laughed. Mike, you got tickled. Damon said people being brainwashed, but they vote blue no matter who. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Detroit HPTV. What's up, homeboy? Detroit says, we the people. We the people. We got to take it over, man. We got to get it done. And Detroit, Isaiah says it's time for us to start working on the midterms and making sure these Democrats don't get a toehold on anything. So that's why I'm going back live. And it's good to hear from you, bro. That's my good buddy Drake. And Isaiah says can't name anything that's just what do they do? What do they do? Everything they do is a mess. But anyway, I guess I'm about to get ready to wrap this up. Let's see, we got one more thing. And I believe that I can say that people on the other side, our white brothers and sisters, are really getting sick of this crap. And I really don't blame them. I think that all this white privilege stuff, when I see black people say that, I see white people frown up. And I believe I know why, because they in the same America we in. And for the last 4 years, everybody was catching hell. That mess Joe Biden was doing, black people, white people, everybody was catching hell. The squeeze was on everybody, right? And so this gentleman right here says some stuff right here, and I think he's 100% correct. But I caught him on Anton's channel. But let's see. What he's saying here, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely true. And I want y'all to check it out and see what you think about it. And he said he's sick of all of this foolishness, and it's about time that it stopped. But anyway, check this out.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your bills. Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bull makes sense. You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the ground. Their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is full. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it, it's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No, that's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this.
Yep.
And that's exactly why they came after us first.
And he is so deadly accurate, yo. Y'all been sending me videos of people that have been hitting on every single point. And let's just be absolutely clear. And the reason why they have to talk like this, and when I say they, I'm talking about white people that are disgusted at what the cultural norms are, and black people basically complaining. And I don't even think it's black people, of course. I think it's black culture. And there's a certain demographic of people, of black people, that are the loudest. They complain the most. Every single thing is racism. They've never experienced racism. They've never employed nobody. They've never actually went and did the things that would make you a productive member of society. They always talk about tax the rich. And then let's throw in the white apologists on top of that. You know, I was watching and then I reviewed a video of a black woman that was going off on a black guy that was working at Walmart. And the white woman at the end, if you watched it all the way to the end, was apologizing to the woman. And she wasn't even familiar with the fact that the woman had basically offended and threw off and was trying to fight the guy that was just doing his job at Walmart. And so every last one of these people are easily offended, but never take any accountability for the role that they play in their lives.
I'm so.
Yep, y'all see that? See, people getting sick and tired of this mess, and so am I. But it's time to make a change, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to make a change. It's time to get on down the road. And Mike, I believe that right there, that video right there kind of sums up what you said in the beginning with all these people complaining and doing all this stuff and talking about white, the other people and this guy doing this and all that. And men are weak as hell. And me and Dre talk about that all the time. Shout out to Detroit HPTV. Y'all go over and check out his channel. That's Dre in the house, all the way from Detroit, Michigan, over there with Anton Daniels. Those guys are awesome content creators. And it's time to step on this midterm. Dre, it's time to step on it. It's time to put some gas in this thing. So Big A, we back doing their lives. And we got to make sure that we crush these Democrats and make sure they don't get a toehold no kind of way. And that we go ahead and you know, the gerrymandering and all this, everything, all they do is complain and bitch and moan, and they dead wrong on everything. That's crazy. It is amazing. I don't want to be on a team like that. That's crazy. I don't know how Democrats are hanging on by a darn thread, because everything they do is it's crazy. It doesn't make sense. That's like putting chicken in a sock and then putting it in the skillet to fry. Well, it's crazy. I don't understand nothing that these people do. But then guess what? The people that follow them, guess what they're going to do? Vote blue no matter who. They still going to be doing the same thing. And so our job is to wake them up. And so I appreciate everybody hanging out and rolling with Big Al, UncleCoon tonight on a Sunday. And I'm so appreciative of everyone that has ever come to this channel and hit that like button and share the video, as that are subscribers. And right now we are almost 7,000, which is unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, that is because of you. And so I appreciate that so much. But anyway, I hope you got some out of what we're trying to do tonight. And we will, I don't know, I guess we'll start doing, I guess 2 or 3 a week. We'll get back on schedule, but I'll let y'all know. But be sure to go over to the channel and check out, we got some stuff over there. We got some stuff over there. And hey, Dre, what do you think about when President Trump had those jets to fly over Putin's head? See, a lot of people didn't think nothing of that, but I said, man, that's a master troll right there. He let Putin know, hey, man, I'm sick of your mess. And Iran don't even know. Iran still don't know what hit them. They don't even know what time it was. All they know is that they don't have no more nuclear weapons. But President Trump is the man. And I appreciate everything that he does for us and all the crap that he has been through. And shout outs to everybody that supports the channel. But anyway, I'm glad y'all tapped in, and I'm going to get ready and get up out of here. Is that okay with you? Is that cool? Can we get up out of here? I'm your host, Big Al, and we're going to get up out of here. Peace. We will catch you. Real. UncleCoon in the house, dropping knowledge, speed truth, no room for doubt. From debates to celebs, we cover it all. Tune in, hit subscribe, you don't want to miss the call. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Politics, pop culture, and everything between. Big Al's got the scoop, you know what I mean? From Harris to Trump, we break it down. Common sense talk, the best show around. Real. Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride. Cash
Chef, show some love, support the grind. Big Al's on the rise, one of a kind. UncleCoon podcast, the place to be for real talk, real folks, and real TV. The real Al UncleCoon, bringing the heat. Every episode's fire, can't be beat. Hit that like, share the vibe. Join the fam, come along for the ride.